Welcome to another episode of Ask the Trichologist. My name is Atilola and I'm the Trichologist at African Naturalistas Hair Clinic, and I'm very excited to be here with you once again. I don't know if you watched our first ever episode, which premiered last week. If you didn't watch it, I want you to just, once this video is over, I want you to click the previous episode and watch it, and there's a whole lot for you to learn there. So this is a new initiative by African Naturalistas. This is our second episode, and this is us basically coming here on YouTube to answer your hair care questions, your hair care issues, your questions about scalp disorders, about hair loss, and about anything that has to do with hair and scalp care basically. As I said, my name is Atilola and I'm going to be here answering your questions. So African Naturalistas basically is a company based in Lagos, Nigeria, that has to do with everything hair care, hair and scalp care. So we have a hair clinic, we have manufacture hair products, we have memberships, we have hair care education resources, we have blogs, anything when it comes to hair and scalp care. We are here for you. We're going to be dropping links in the description box below. So once this episode is over, you can click there and find out what resources you need to take care of your hair and your scalp. So straight to today's episode. The first question for today is from a nameless person. Please be dropping your names whenever you're asking questions. My 7-month-old daughter's hair has refused to grow. Please help. Well, sorry, Anonymous, that your 7-month-old daughter's hair has refused to grow, but I can tell you for a fact that there's nothing you should be worrying about right now. It is a phenomenon called neonatal occipital alopecia. You get, and it happens to a lot of babies where they have a lot of hair in the womb, and sometime in between their hair falls off because the hair growth cycle in the baby's head is still a bit regularized, meaning all the hair grows at the same time and it falls off at the same time, or most of the hair falls off at the same time, and because of that, by the time the hair falls off, a lot of it falls off, and sometimes it takes time for everything to grow back. I can tell you for a fact that you shouldn't run around being skeptical or being paranoid or being worried or scared that something is wrong with your baby's hair. The hair will grow back. I can tell you for a fact the hair will grow back. Because what happens in situations like this is that mothers begin to run around buying products that they don't need, spending money on products that they shouldn't bother spending money on to grow their baby's hair, and that hair will eventually grow, and they attribute the fact that the hair grew back to the products that they were using. No, it's called neonatal occipital alopecia, and it always happens most time in the occipital region, or is more prominent in the occipital region, which is this region of the head, and then the hair falls off. I don't want to go into the science of it all, but it actually starts from the womb, and you'll find out that most children that have this issue are children that are born full term. For children that are born like preterm, many times this hair growth cycle gets interrupted in between, gets interrupted before they are born, and they come with a full head of hair and the hair doesn't fall off. So as I said, I don't want to go into the science of it, but I don't want you to be very worried or anything. That hair is going to grow back. Trust me, it might take a year, it might take 2 years, but eventually the hair will grow back and the hair will be full all over. Okay, so our next question here is from It's GIF. It's GIF says, how do I turn my hard hair to soft hair? How do you turn your hard hair to soft hair? So, well, I want to believe that when you say your hair is hard hair, you mean it is very coarse in texture. Probably the kinks and coils are very tight. Probably it's very full, and you're finding it difficult to pass tools through the hair, maybe pass combs and dryers and brushes and everything through the hair. So you have termed your hair as hard hair. Well, I don't think you should call your hair hard hair, but if you're comfortable calling your hair hard hair, then that's fine. What you can do to turn it to what you call soft hair in quotes is to basically moisturize and deep condition regularly. Like, there is nothing there is no holy grail. You're not gonna pass chemicals through your hair. You're not gonna go and chemically process your hair, or in the words of some other people, texturize your hair. It's all basically the same thing. It's chemical processing. What you're gonna do right now, for me, it's GIF, is that you are going to deep condition that hair very often, like once in 2 weeks, or during every wash period. Your ideal wash period is once in 2 weeks, right? You deep condition. Once you are deep conditioning regularly with a deep condition, with a balanced deep conditioner, that is a deep conditioner that has intense moisture and less protein. You're doing that every 2 weeks, and you're moisturizing daily. Very important for your own situation. You're moisturizing daily. You should be able to condition that hair. And please, because you are complaining of hard hair, I want you to also use your leave-in conditioner. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your water, your spray mist. So that's your water and your oil, or your African Naturalistas daily hair mist, or whatever. You're going to spray it on your hair, and then you're going to use a leave-in conditioner, and then you're going to use a sealant. That's what you're going to do. You're going to do that very regularly, like every day or once in 2 days, depending on the humidity in your own region. I don't know where you're sending this from, but depending on the humidity in your own region, depending on your lifestyle. So there's something I call sequencing versus frequency when it comes to moisturizing and sealing. Depending on your environment, your country, your work situation, the weather where you are, your hair texture, your hair type, depending on those things, you're going to be able to develop your own regimen. And once you do that, you will know whether you should be moisturizing every day, or you should be moisturizing every 2 days, or that. Then you will get your sequencing, and you're going to get your frequency. It is a formula I developed myself as a trichologist to help people get the best out of their moisturizing and sealing. So one person is not complaining of hard hair, and another person is not complaining of hair that is too soft, because everybody's moisturizing and sealing routine has to be different, and it has to be tailored to them and unique to them. Okay, so when you do that, you moisturize regularly, you deep condition regularly, your hair should be more manageable by this time, and you should be able to have hair that is not as hard as you are complaining about. I have a question here. How do I stop my hair from growing fast? Another anonymous question. How do I stop my hair from growing fast? It is common in my family. Sorry, anonymous. You have what is called canitis. It is the official term for graying hair, and there's really nothing you can do to stop it, especially now that you have even talked about the fact that it's hereditary. It is graying fast, so I guess you are not as old as people who society expects that these people are the people that should be graying. That is why you are worried, and you said it runs in your family. It's called canitis. You get CANITIES, and it is the art of graying hair. Basically, it is from the cortex of your hair, because the cortex of your hair strands, we have 3 layers of hair. When it comes to the hair strand, we have the cuticle, the cortex, and the medulla. Everything about the properties of the hair is determined by what's happening in the cortex, which is, the color of the hair, the coil pattern of the hair, the texture of the hair. Everything about the hair is determined by the properties of the hair in the cortex, and that is what also determines the kind of melanin you have, whether you have eumelanin, few melanin, or you have no melanin at all. And when you have gray hair, you actually have no melanin at all. Gray hair is actually colorless hair. It's not actually gray, it is colorless hair, but it appears gray because it is reflecting the lights in the environment, but it's actually colorless hair. And you have colorless hair, you have no melanin at all, and that is why your hair is looking gray, and there's really nothing you can do about it, because it is from the cortex. So just, what I'll just tell you to do, if it's really disturbing you, I would like you to maybe just get your indigo powder, because that is the only safe way for you to dye your hair black. Every other way to dye your hair black is a chemical way, and I don't want you to depend on chemical dyes, because then you'll be talking about breakage all the time. You are going to be talking about having to moisturize so much, that more than you can even maintain. So you will have to be dyeing all the time. So if you want to be dyeing all the time, just get your henna powder and your indigo powder, and then you can mix it together and you dye your hair, right? I hope that is okay for you. And then you dye your hair if gray hair is, maybe you feel like you are too young to be having this gray hair all over. But in like, maybe you want to cure it, that's not going to be possible because it is hereditary and it is coming from the cortex of your hair, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. And then our last question for today: what is the best fix from brittle edge for brittle edges? This is actually a question from two people. They asked it in different ways. Delphine Cosima and Diril Bayola. Edges is what we specialize in at African Naturalistas Hair Clinic. I always say that as long as you have hair follicles, I can grow any edge out. I can use hair care education to grow it out. I can use hair products to grow it out. I can use clinical treatment to grow it out. I'm the master edge restorer, but I know that not everybody has physical access to me, so they can get another kind of access to me. But I'll be able to, I can tell you for a fact that this is not a, this question, if I really want to treat it, it's going to take me about 2 hours to treat this particular question. Number one, I don't know what is causing your brittle edges in quotes. Do you have like bad hair care practices? Are you gluing wigs to your edges? Are you sleeping with a bonnet, or you're just sleeping on a bare cotton pillowcase? Are you fixing very horrible extensions, or did you do that in the past that has caused your follicles around your head to be damaged? There are so many things, but let me just reel out some solutions to you, and then you pick the one that applies to you from there. Number one, I want you to stop applying, stop using glue, stop gluing extensions to your edges, or wigs to your edges. I also want you to start sleeping with your satin scarf. Since you say you have brittle edges, ditch the bonnet for now and start sleeping with the satin scarf. I want you to stop using tight or tiny extensions around your edges. You can get the edge restoring cream from African Naturalistas. It works wonders. I can show you like results that the edge restoring cream has produced over time. Great results. I can tell you that, because it is a master edge restorer. Then if you think you want a clinical solution, you can book an appointment at African Naturalistas Hair Clinic, and then we will examine your hair follicles. And when we examine your hair follicles, we'll be able to recommend better treatments for you, whether we just go topical or we go the clinical route to help you restore all your edges with micro needling. We can use high frequency treatments. We can use low level laser therapy. There are a lot of clinical solutions that we have for you to restore your edges. If you think that the topical way alone will not work for you, at the end of the day, the ball is in your court. But before you do that, I also just want to make sure that you know what you're doing to that caused you to have the brittle edges in the first place. So that is what we have for today. My name is Atilola. I'm the trichologist at African Naturalistas Hair Clinic. If you want to ask us questions, you can do that two ways. You can ask your questions in the comment section below. Just write your name and your question, and then we're going to take it in future episodes, or you can send an email to ATT, that's Ask the Trichologist, att@africannaturalistas.com. All the details, everything, our resources, how you can ask questions, how you can get in touch with us, is going to be in the description box below. It's going to be in the description box below, and then we will get back to you in future episodes. But you know what to do. Don't go anywhere without clicking the subscribe button. Click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, drop a comment below, and let's get this channel all over YouTube. I will see you in the next episode of Ask the Trichologist. Bye-bye.